People ask me all the time, man, how would your life be if you didn't train martial arts? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would not have a clue. The process of training and the process of personal refinement, the process of personal development is so ingrained in my person, I don't know exactly who I would be. Slow down a little bit for the people in the cheap seats. Now, let's put the cross-gripping sequence with some attacks, some movement. What attacks do I want to do? I want to do ko-uchi, o-uchi, and what? No-so. And that's it. You have to grab the sleeve and you have to come forward. You can't grab the sleeve and then relaunch your hand and then come back. You have to go from the sleeve straight forward. Drop his hand to be centered. Drop him before he centered. A lot of people do that too when they jab, they drop. They drop before they send. Don't drop before you send. Just go sleeve, send. Or sleeve, send. Or sleeve, send. All right? There you go. One of the things that totally ruins a financial budget are what we call the twos and the fews. It's the time you go to Wendy's, you go to McDonald's, you go to Popeyes, you shop outside of when you're supposed to go grocery shopping, or you want to go to 7-Eleven, you want to grab something, before you know it, you find yourself in a deficit. Well, the same thing happens in grip fighting. If you don't know the twos and fews of grip fighting, you'll put yourself in a deficit, not only in terms of tempo, but you'll put yourself in a deficit in terms of energy consumption. Because anytime that you have to move more than the other person is moving, you're making what we call inefficient movement, and you're spending what we call 2-to-1 per your energy dollars. So what you want to make sure is that you know the twos and fews as it pertains to the standard gripping sequence and it pertains to the basic gripping sequence. Now, on the standard gripping sequence, we go sleeve lapel. Sometimes there's a moment where if you stab with both hands to the lapel, like we teach the kids to do at times, where you go for that person's sleeve and that person then grabs your sleeve too. When you have this person's sleeve and this person has your sleeve, this becomes a very tough situation because both people are trying to rip out. Now, you don't always get to rip out. Sometimes you can't rip your sleeve out. So when we get in a situation where it's sleeve, one of the things that I like to do sleeve is when we're sleeve like this, the person who wins this rollover game is going to be the person who wins. Rufus likes to sometimes want to roll his stuff over so he can pin mine down, and I want to roll his over so I can pin his down. All right. So when we get sleeve, the first thing that usually happens is people come up like this. All right, and then they're trying to roll the sleeve over, boom, and then down. So I roll over, down. Rufus, you roll over, and then push down. I roll over, down. You roll over, down. Good. Now, this happens, and then you roll over, down, and then what I do is I push down. And I don't stay here. Once I pull my elbow out, I pull my elbow out high. I'm not trying to hit him in the chin. But if his chin gets in the way, it's okay. All right, and then I come out, and I push across. Here. Right. I push. Good. Now, it doesn't work the same for him because I'm ahead in tempo because I'm the one that grabbed the sleeve first. A lot of people ask about what happens if you grab at the same time. Usually you never really grab at the same time. Somebody's like a hair or two before the other person, or I'm grabbing the sleeve and he's grabbing the sleeve, but where I've grabbed the sleeve, it's more advantageous to me. I have more opportunity based upon the way that I've grabbed the sleeve. If you beat me, you 2-on-1 to grab the sleeve. Boom. And I'm grabbing the sleeve here or here, it's not as advantageous as how he has my sleeve. So when I pull it off, he still has a better opportunity than I have with grabbing the sleeve. All right, it's not a lot that I can do in terms of throwing here. Now, if I was underneath, it would be different. Can I get his arm up and do some throws? Yes, but man, I'm a righty. I need this hand free. Yes, I can step across, but there's not a lot happening here. That's a huge shock to make in this particular situation. Normally, when we're like this, we'll be shoulder to shoulder. All right, and I'm trying to manipulate the sleeve, right, so I can grab it this way. So I can come over top, push down, to roll over top to get out. I'm gonna grab your sleeve, you grab my sleeve. Boom. So now Rufus is not letting me roll my hand over top. But he's not letting me roll my hand over top. My right elbow, okay, is gonna go towards Rufus's elbow, and I'm gonna turn. Go over this way. My elbow start moving his elbow and I'll turn. The other one is, grab my sleeve, I grab this one. I learned this from Winston Gordon. I will now push this over top of this and change my feet briefly. So